Hello everyone, this is Judith with another video, and today it's all about what you need to know right now on your twin flame journey. So I've pulled some cards, the Law of Attraction deck and the archetype cards. And yeah, let's jump right in and see what there is to say in regards to your twin flame journey. This is not like a regular reading or something, but it's just the opportunity to talk about some things that you need to know. But for sure, I will read the cards as well, and so for you to know what because we have some text as well on the back of the cards, and here is some text. But I will like feel into the cards and talk a little bit about what I see, and yeah, in relation to the twin flame journey. So this might be a little bit different from a reading. Okay, so the first card that came out is this one, and it says, I can create my world as I choose. And on the back side we have, you are here to create the world around you that you choose, while you allow the world as others choose it to be, to exist also. But while their choices in no way hinder your choices, your attention to their choices does affect your vibration and therefore your point of attraction. Yes, I want to talk about this card for a minute. You see those mountains, right? And we also have a card in the right, no, what is it called? Not the Rider-Waite, but the Lenormand cards. The Lenormand cards, there is also a mountain, and this means obstacles, right? So you could see that the obstacles around you, when you pay too much attention to those, then this will like change your vibration and make those obstacles your point of vibration. So there is always a distinction between being aware of what gets in the way, being aware of where we have issues that need to be resolved, without like focusing on them in a way that is problem orientated, and then we end up like making those things our point of creation. Then we wonder why we are always going round in circles. But for sure, on the twin flame journey, sometimes we need to go around in circles. First of all, because it's like peeling an onion. So the issues there are layers to those issues, and we might come across them several times, then like peeling an onion, right? And yeah, and we wanna pay more attention to those little fiery spots, right? And they look like they can overcome those obstacles, right? As if they're flying in the air, and they have this creative color to them, this orange, which is the color of the sacral chakra. So this means that you have choice where to put your focus, and clearly it's recommended to not have too much focus on the obstacles. And this is also in relation to third parties. So if you are in a third party situation on your twin flame journey, then I would highly recommend maybe to have a short look. We could do this in a session, to have a short look if there is any karma between you and the current partner of your twin flame. But apart from that, I would not recommend to really focus on this partner, because that's like totally something else, and this will be resolved in the universe, will take care of that, right? We do not have to pay attention to those things at all, because in fact, when we keep working on our issues, then the other things, they just will fall into place, right? Of course, we need to see if there are maybe some issues. Sometimes there are issues in relation to a past life, but really, this is not ours to focus on. Good. Let's move on to the next card, and then maybe we see a bigger picture. I've not really made up my mind beforehand, because I really want to be fresh with what I see. And of course, there are also things always that I overlook. But yeah, doesn't matter, right? Spirit gives us the messages that we need to hear. So we have this beautiful green card with all of those flowers. Love the imagery. And here we have the lady. And it says, I divide each day into segments of intentions. And on the back side, it says, the point from which you are consciously perceiving, that point is a segment. Your day may be divided into many segments. It is not necessary to have a rigid schedule of segments, but it is important that you clearly identify when you are moving from one segment of intentions into another segment of intentions. So what is this segment of intention? Comes from the law of attraction, and maybe you don't know what it is, and it is good to know, but to me it's not so important. Just means that when you drive, for example, you drive home, then this drive is a segment. And when you arrive home and then you do something else, like maybe like preparing dinner, then this is another segment, right? And then you have an appointment with a friend, that's the next segment. So, and of course, we want each segment to be, we want to feel fulfilled in each segment, in our power, right? And that's, we want to give each segment in our day our full attention and be aware of what we are doing and connect to this moment. So to me, you might know that I am an actress, and I come very much like from theater, actually, from being on stage. And when you are on stage, what you have to do as a good actor is you have to be in the now moment. So this connects me to a lot of spiritual teachers, right? Now I'm a spiritual teacher myself. So yeah, to be in the now moment. And how can you achieve that? Well, the segments can help you a lot with that, right? To just focus on what you're doing, and also what comes up while you're doing it. How does it feel to do it? And of course, on working to improve those segments. And this also is also like, to me, it has to do a lot with fulfillment. If we look at the card, it is like a beautiful garden with those flowers. And this, here we have the lady, and I feel a kind of contentment around her, also with this fresh green. And so this contentment and this fulfillment, you want to achieve this, because without achieving this, you cannot really be in union. It's not possible, because you want to be fulfilled, and for your union to fall into place, right? And not only your union, actually, because I can tell with the garden that we need to bring in the awareness that it's not only about your union. Your union is part of this fulfillment, because in truth, it's not about this other person that you want to be with. In truth, you want to be with this other person and feel fulfilled, right? The fulfillment and the joy, the feeling that you're in sync with your true essence, this is what you really want. So, and when you have this, actually your divine partnership will be there for you. That's just a law. By law, it will be there for you. There's no other way, right? But you cannot first have the relationship in order to be fulfilled. The fulfillment comes first. So now she's alone in that garden, right? But not for very much longer, because this is a very attractive place, right? And she's attracting everything that is in alignment with her and with the beautiful garden. and she allows herself to be in the moment and to just perceive and observe. What is that like to be in that moment, right? What does that feel like? And then, of course, we want this moment to be perfect. We want this moment to feel good. But of course, we also want to observe when it doesn't, right? When there are issues, when we have triggers, upsets, and then work on them, right? Yeah, and totally, we come to the next card and then we already see where those upsets lie that Spirit suggests you to look at. So that you, Spirit suggests you want to look at childhood wounds, right? Because here it says it's an archetype card, and the archetype we have is child wounded. And there are two attributes, light attribute and shadow attribute. I read them both to you. Light attributes are awakens compassion and desire to serve other wounded children, opens the learning path of forgiveness. And the shadow attributes blames all dysfunctional relationships on childhood wounds, resists moving on through forgiveness. Yeah, and that's there is a lot to learn in relation to that. Of course, we work a lot with the inner child and the childhood wounds. Those are extremely important on the twin flame journey. We have to deal with them. Really have to resolve them because a lot of blocks in the way really relate to childhood. Not all, there are also other aspects, of course, but this is like the basement that we really have to clear out. Those are trauma. In fact, it's all about trauma, and this has to be transformed, right? Those energies, if you have experienced childhood trauma, I've experienced deep childhood trauma. I've been there. A couple of things that I've experienced as a child, but one of them was that I had to stay in an incubator for the first 2 weeks of my life. So this had a deep impact, of course, on me. And I was not conscious. Nobody could explain that to me. So I was completely left to this experience. And of course, this is one of the bigger onions, right, on my journey that I have to peel. Yeah, and maybe you have something similar that you have experienced, and Spirit suggests that this needs to be addressed now, right? And so pay attention to all the uncomfortable feelings that come up, and don't push them away, but try to allow them to be there, and be in this place where you allow yourself just to look at what is happening to you. Okay, I'm not feeling good. Can I give this a name? Right? What's coming up here? And in fact, that's a message from the universe. So and there is, of course, also this thing that we cannot forgive, right? It's also sometimes that we have to forgive not only other people, the people in our lives, maybe our parents or whoever, in relation to what happened in our childhood, but also sometimes we have to forgive our twin flame. And forgiveness, it is very, very important to learn about forgiveness. So don't be hard on yourself if you can't forgive. That's totally okay, but just be aware that you can't, and that I tell you there is a way to forgive. And then, of course, also to find forgiveness. That's the good thing, right? So forgiveness is huge on the twin flame journey, and the shadow work in relation to the childhood trauma. So yeah, this is what Spirit wants to point out. And of course, I'm here to help you with those things, because I can exactly pinpoint those traumas, those childhood wounds, and help you to release the energy, right? And then if it's released, it's released, right? Maybe it happens in layers, needs to be addressed several times, but then yeah, it's totally possible to release that. That's the good news. So good. And the last card here we got today is Warrior. And it says light attributes, strength. Wait a minute, there's something on the card here. Light attributes, strength, skill, discipline, and toughness of will. Heroism, stoicism, and self-sacrifice in conquering the ego. And shadow attributes, trading ethical principles for victory at any cost. Indifference to the suffering inflicted on others. So yeah, I don't know quite what this is, but let me feel in for a moment and also have a look at the imagery. Of course, when I see warrior, then I always think of the rainbow warriors, right? The light workers, people who the big souls, in fact, on the planet right now that are bringing in the light, and there are some of them are warrior-like, right? Because of course, when we bring in light, then this is also highlighting the shadow, right? If you shine the light, then you can also see what's not in the light. You see the darkness, and yeah, so this brings movement, right? To shine your light, and this is the same for you, because when you are on the twin flame journey, then to me, it is like Spirit saying, this is a way, or this what you're about to do is you're a bright, like a bright star, a light, a beacon of light, right? So, and this is dangerous, is threatening to some people, right? Of course, it's good, it's wonderful, but not to everyone. Some people don't like it at all when we are like being in our power, shining our light. Then that's a big threat to other people. And yeah, so it's maybe more that Spirit wants to say, be prepared for that, right? Be prepared and don't get distracted by that. Be prepared that also you might be in a way attacked. Without don't want to scare you. I do not mean like literally attacked, but that you experience along the way a lot of things that don't work in the way, that don't work out in the way that you want them to work out. But then it's also a message to persist, right? Because you have a goal, you have this yeah, that's the strength, right, that you have. And also, of course, the skills that you have as a twin flame, like raising your frequency and then getting access to all your skills that are already there for you, but you've just forgotten about them. And yeah, and also that this kind of toughness of will, right? We are very strong-minded, and I think you know what I refer to, that most of us throughout our lives already we've been strong-minded, and especially our parents also, they can tell, and people that we know. And of course, we are built for a reason like that, right? It's not to annoy others. But it's just if we wouldn't be so strong-minded, then we could not persist on this twin flame journey. And it's just a confirmation that it's good for you to persist. Just prepare for some struggles and some obstacles, but you're strong enough, you have the strength, the skills, and the discipline that is needed to be successful on that path, right? So yeah, those are the messages that wanted to come through today. If you're experiencing any upsets, if you want to work on your issues, feel free to send me an email. You find everything you need to know in the description box below. And now I wish you a wonderful day. Take care, everyone, and I see you in the next video. Bye for now.